Hey everybody, this is J-Rod.
Nico.
So Nico, welcome back.
Hey.
So today we got more on New Japan for a quick review on the G1. More info that I've been covering about the NXT, MLW, and many others. So get on the roller coaster, strap on, and welcome to the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up. 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 Get up, get up.
All right, Nico, let's
Yes.
talk about the G1 since you weren't with me last week. What are your thoughts of this?
The G1. Okay, so this year's G1 was full of excitement, full of heartbreak, and full of shock and awe. First of all, my MVP, in my opinion, still is going to be Toru Yano. Most entertaining matches. He made a lot of upsets. He's the spoiler of spoilers. Sonata finally beat Okada. What else?
What are your thoughts about Koda Ibushi as the winner of the G1?
Koda Ibushi is the winner. That's like a Cinderella story. I liked his. I liked the whole dynamics of him versus the Bullet Club at the final when Switchblade came out with the entire Bullet Club, and then you got the whole drama with Uno kicking them all out. That was exciting. That was like some classic WCW NWO type of drama, that in-ring drama that I really appreciated. I liked his victory speech during the backstage what's it called,
The
press
post
conference when he wanted everybody to have a beer with him. I thought that was a nice little moment. What else? Just everything about the G1 was wonderful. There's just Jay White really put over everyone that he needed to put over, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate Jay for that.
You know, the thing is, like, Jay White could have won last year's, G1. Same thing with Koda. But this year, it became a little different. You saw two talents that were on the verge last year, but now this year, they had to be face-to-face. And like they're always saying, there has to be one winner, and there's always a loser. And that winner turned out to be Koda. I mean, last year, he was in the finals against his hero Tanahashi, which was very disappointing for him. You know, he couldn't believe he lost. I mean, but I heard that this was like his third attempt in the G1. I don't know about the first one. I haven't caught on to it yet, but I'll get to there. But I feel very much happy that Koda won this year's.
Oh yeah,
So-
it was bound to happen after his full-time contract with New Japan. He also broke a few records. First performer to win the Best of the Super Juniors, New Japan Cup, and now the G1 Climax.
You know, so yeah. So let's talk about what we saw before the final match. The biggest shocker was Kenta joining Bullet Club. Initial thoughts?
Bullet Club is back.
You know, because if you recall, 24 hours before the finals, Tama Tonga tweeted saying that he has recruited a high caliber athlete. Now, we didn't know who he was referring to. Now, the question was, is it someone we know, or is it someone outside of the New Japan? And it turned out it was Kenta all along.
It wasn't going to be Flip Gordon?
Well, we all know Flip wanted it to, but the problem is that if Flip was the guy that joined Bullet Club, would he fit in with them? That was the thing.
Who knows?
You know, but seeing Kenta, but the one thing that was surprising was Shibata. You know, if you guys don't know what happened, Shibata showed up to attack Kenta. Now, let's go back a few years ago. Shibata had a concussion during a match against Okada, and it put him on the sideline, and he was unable to do in-ring work because they were concerned that there is a possibility that he may not come out of it. And now, it's understandable for people who seen this type of thing or heard this type of condition. But I know some fans would have loved to see Shibata, but the problem is we don't know how much is he still not recovered from those damages. You know what I mean? I mean, it would have been nice to see Shibata, but we don't know.
We got a nice little taste of the G1 final. I mean, the crowd was on fire.
Oh, yeah.
They were all on their feet. They're loud, huge pop for.
Yeah,
for
I have to say Shibata really made a good, not like a ring performance, but more like how to say, a somewhat return in action, but it wasn't. I mean, I think they were trying to be careful not to kill him
Right.
on the ring, because we don't want the same situation that happened with Misawa in Pro Wrestling Noah. So yeah, I mean, I'm very surprised, but we'll just see how the road gets. If there's any way Shibata can come back, we'll just keep an eye on that.
That's right.
Now, as you know, I talked about the Super J Cup and the Royal Quest last week. I mentioned who would be participating. But the one thing that really was announced on the New Japan World on Twitter, that they will not broadcast these two events. It will be released a month later.
It's a video on demand.
Yes, I mean, you think it like there's fans that would love to see this one because of the Super J Cup, because there's one match in particular on the first day that people want to see, and I'm talking about Will Ospreay versus the Amazing Red. You know, that is one match that everybody wants to see. Now, let's go back a little bit. Last month we had this Southern Showdown in Australia. They showed the match between Robbie Eagles and Will Ospreay, but they did not show the following day, where we see Robbie Eagle betrays the Bullet Club, until they released it not too long ago, this month.
Right.
So you think we're seeing that same scenario again with them, like releasing whatever they have for the Super J Cup and Royal Quest a month later?
Well, I can't really explain what happened with the showing of the Super Showdown, the Showdown Down Under. Is that what it's called?
The Southern Showdown.
The Southern Showdown. Yes. I'm sorry. But most of the shows that they have that are in the States tend to be video on demand. Same with the Houston G1. Same with when they do when they're in Long Beach or the Cow Palace. Those were all video on demand. They didn't really show them live unless you are a subscriber to Access or Fight.
All right. The last thing we're going to talk about in the New Japan category is Minoru Suzuki. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm referring to, in the last day of the G1 finals, there was a tag team match. Minoru Suzuki was teamed with Zack Sabre Jr. Against Okada and Tanahashi. Now, Okada pinned, Minoru Suzuki pinned Okada. Now, if you viewers don't know what I'm talking about, there's like some sort of, not like a rule, but more like a stipulation. If you, by any chance, are facing a champion, doesn't matter if it's the heavyweight champion, the junior heavyweight, tag teams, US, or whatever scenario, you have an opportunity to face that champion.
Right.
And Minoru Suzuki now finally has that opportunity. As you all know, Minoru Suzuki was not included in the G1, which would be disappointing for a lot of diehard Minoru Suzuki fans.
Livid.
You know. But now he gets an opportunity to face Okada, which is a match that we won't be able to see at Royal Quest, which is against Okada for the title.
And why won't we be able to see it?
Because it's one of the two shows that they said they will not release until next month.
Where is it going to be?
London.
Oh, it's going to be in London. That's right.
So, but let's talk about a bit about Minoru Suzuki. We have seen him in New Japan. He has held the IC title and the Never Openweight Championship, but we never seen him carry the prestigious title, the heavyweight title, the IWGP heavyweight title. Now, here's what I do know from other promotions in Japan. He has carried the All Japan Pro Wrestling Triple Crown Heavyweight Championship, the Global Honor Crown Heavyweight Champion from Pro Wrestling Noah, and the British Heavyweight title from Revolution Pro Wrestling.
And the tag team Rev Pro.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the ones as a heavyweight title,
okay.
not tag teams. But this is one title that has been eluding him for a very long time. Would you love to see Minoru Suzuki carry that title for the first time in his career?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I mean, there is a reason why he has been proclaiming himself as the king of pro wrestling.
King.
But here's the way I see it. If he does win, there is one person that wants to take that title away from him. And you know this guy too well. I'm talking about Tetsuya Naito.
Oh, yes.
Because Tetsuya Naito will not tolerate Minoru Suzuki calling himself the king. But, as like I said, I can't wait to... Hopefully, we can find a way to see it. See this particular match, because this is one match we gotta see.
Oh, yes.
So, that's it what we got for New Japan, but we will continue to follow up on everything else on the Super J Cup and the Royal Crest. But if there's anything new, we will cover back to that one. Alright, Nico, since you know I've been covering the NXT for a long time, since we've been hearing they'll be getting a new network. Now, let's start from the beginning with this. This was approached by the Fox Network. They were willing to broadcast the NXT brand on the Fox Sports 1 channel. So we've been hearing it for weeks or months about they want to really broadcast this brand.
Right.
Now, there was a recent shift change that happened this past week. It was revealed that Vince McMahon would rather have NXT rebroadcast by the USA Network.
Right.
The same network that broadcast Raw. What do you think what do you think it caused this shift change?
I don't really know what was the cause for the change, but from what it seems like is that Fox seems to be what's it called 0-2 for what they wanted. First they wanted Paul Heyman on SmackDown with Fox. They didn't get that. And they also wanted NXT on Fox, and they still didn't get that. What is Vince's deal with Fox?
The thing is, he feels that the USA Network is more of the home of WWE, because we got to remember this. Fans are more familiarized with the USA Network.
Oh yeah.
Which because of Raw.
Yeah,
But
Raw, SmackDown.
But here's the thing: Fox Network
Sunday,
has not. Fox Network is clearly unhappy with this. That this was not approached to the WWE at all. I mean, this kind of reminds me. If you guys are from the San Diego area, we had a similar situation with the San Diego Chargers, where Dean Spanos was making dealings with LA behind our backs, and including with our good old mayor, Kevin Faulkner. And you got to wonder, did Vince McMahon do the same thing behind the Fox Network's back, making this a done deal?
That's a good question.
Because if he did, this could cause a problem for WWE, but not only just to them, to the Fox Network, because there's reports saying that these guys spent hours and money-wise to have them. You know, they're willing to broadcast SmackDown on their network, and they really wanted to have the NXT brand there.
Right.
And this is like a waste of their time, because we don't know what Vince's ego is when it comes to this, but this is like it was a bad decision made behind not to talk to the Fox Network about this. You know, and business-wise, you know what I mean? But now, let's talk about this thing about the NXT that we heard. Now, if you heard, it's been confirmed it will be on a Wednesday. They're going to broadcast. But this will air on September 18th, 2 weeks before AEW's TV show. Now, the theory is that this is probably their way of trying to slow the momentum down from AEW. Now, I can say we don't know if that's going to be enough to slow them down.
Oh, not at all. I mean, like people are going to watch what they want to watch. you got diehard fans everywhere. You got your diehard fans at AEW, and you got your diehard fans at WWE. Yeah, more people have been unsubscribing to WWE, myself included. And yeah, there's a lot of people that are willing to sell out, to be a part of the sellouts of AEW's upcoming shows.
Yeah.
If they were to come to San Diego, I'd be a part of that group.
Yeah. So the thing is this, like I said, we don't know if this is going to be enough for WWE to stop AEW, because the problem I see, they're like telling them, we know you're there, we can see you. But WWE's not going to acknowledge knowing that there's another competition in their wake.
Right.
But here's the thing I did find, the final thing I'm going to talk about for the NXT. Now fans are concerned that Vince McMahon wants to get involved with NXT. This is a cause of concern.
Oh, yeah.
Because the thing is this, you heard the stories that many producers and writers are unhappy with Vince because he changes certain things, rewrite the whole story, all of it, which causes the ratings to go down. You know, and it's always been that same scenario, but it looks like we may get that same scenario with NXT. And I'm seeing throughout social media, both Facebook, Twitter, saying NXT's doomed. You know, and that's the last thing the fans want. You know, like, we would rather see Triple H just run the show.
Oh, yeah.
This is his baby, for Christ's sakes.
You got all these excellent takeovers. I mean, all these so many classic matches have gone down in NXT under the with Triple H at the helm. The things that a lot of what we're fearing is with Vince taking over is not just Vince taking over, but once it's on the network, they're gonna have the main roster guys go down to NXT.
Yeah, that's another factor that's been feared by many fans. And the problem is this: you and I know Vince's ego. He will not tolerate another promotion stealing his thunder.
Right.
I mean, the problem is this: there are many fans saying, "Can we just get along with this?"
Yeah.
And Cody Rhodes is out there proving we can share the wrestling world no matter what. But Vince doesn't want to share it. He wants to be the top banana in the wrestling world. But
he took over all the territories. Well, he bought out all the territories.
Well, I don't think he's going to buy all territories right now. No. Because independent promotions are not going to tolerate Vince.
Right.
So we'll follow more on the NXT if there's any more changes or concerns, because I know there's a lot of anxious fans that want to know if there's going to be a problem in the future. But I know I'm excited. I'm going to see how this one will come out once NXT's in the air. I know you're going to watch it. If it's the same scenario, then
I'll be at work watching it on my phone.
I'll be at home watching it. But we'll follow more on the NXT brand to see how it goes, because I know we want to see how good this has become. Now, if I see any of Vince's writing there, forget it.
Unless he returns as announcer.
True. So that's it for the NXT talk. So we'll continue more. This next thing we're going to talk about, I have talked about it before, and you were here for that one. That Pro Wrestling Noah has this tournament that it's similar to the G1 called the N1 Victory. Now, I can't find any footage of the N1 Victory, but I have been following through various internet sources from different news groups about the N1 Victory. Now, if you must know, Alexander Hammerstone, who represents MLW and of course here in the US, has won his first match for the A block. He defeated the top guy of Pro Wrestling Noah, Go Shiozaki. He's one of the top guys in Pro Wrestling Noah, which is impressive, for a guy like him to win his first match in the N1 Victory. But there is another match that went on. The B block has, hope I pronounced it right, because I hate to piss off the Japanese people. We got Katsuhiro Nakajima, who defeated Maesaki Mochizuki. Hope I pronounced it right. So, those are the only 2 matches that they throw in this past Saturday. I mean, this kind of thing is a little different than the G1 because we normally see everyone from the A block in the same match. You know, the B blockers we've seen, they're part of a tag team preview. You know, but this is kind of interesting to see how they do their thing. What do you think?
I haven't really seen much of their tournament and how it goes down. I don't really have much thoughts on
But
it.
you think like it's interesting that they're only throwing 1 match at a time for 1 block each?
How long are their tapings?
I don't know because the only thing I do know, if you recall, they have 10 competitors, 5 for each block.
It was smaller.
Yeah, I mean it's nothing compared like New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Right.
You know, because if you guys follow the history of Pro Wrestling NOAH, these guys follow the same system as All Japan Pro Wrestling.
Okay.
But we will try to find more info about Pro Wrestling NOAH and everything else, what they do and how this goes down. Because I have to say, this whole thing with the N1 Victory is a little interesting to follow, you know?
Right.
Because this is something I did not know. I didn't know that they were doing this. I don't know if this was part of their plan to follow everyone else. Because like I said, their system is a little more similar to the G1. But can't wait to see more of what's going to happen. So we will follow more on the N1 Victory. I'm hoping I get to hear Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. because he's also in this one. I hope he makes his daddy proud. You know. So let's move along. Okay. As you all know, LAX, one of the amazing tag teams we have seen so far in Impact Wrestling. They just had their final match with Impact Wrestling in Mexico City this past Friday. They just said their goodbyes. What do you think?
Was this at the Triple Mania or?
No, they do some events down there. They tour in Mexico, but they do collaborate with certain wrestlers that are part of AAA. But they're not in alliance with them.
Well, if we're not gonna get swerved, it's just in time for them to join the tag team renaissance that's going on right now with AEW.
Well, yeah. Right now, there's like that question that it's on everyone's mind.
Yes.
Which is, are they gonna go with WWE or AEW? Because we got to remember, both these companies have their sights on them. Now, let's play a little factor if they join one of them. If they go to WWE, it's more than likely they'll go to NXT brand, which is kind of like
get shelved.
Yeah, or something, but we don't know yet. Now, if they go to AEW, they probably would end up in a tournament. You know, that's the one thing that many people see, because we have seen right now with AEW, with their first 3 pay-per-views, they're taking the tag team division way serious as we realized.
Right.
You know, and LAX fits the bill for these guys. You know, but there is talk that there is a possibility they're leaning towards AEW. Now, if you guys don't know this, in Impact Wrestling, they were in a rivalry with the Lucha Brothers. I mean, who doesn't love seeing a rivalry with those guys? I mean, we've seen that with the Bucks with them and the LX and Impact, but now we could see more of that. I mean, wouldn't you love to see more of another rivalry with the Lucha Brothers? So, we don't know yet. There is still no official word where they're going to go, but Nico and I are hoping they go to AEW because they fit perfectly right there. But if we heard anything, we'll immediately announce it on the news update alert as possible, once I find out.
Stay tuned.
All right. All right. Nico, you weren't here the last time. I talked about GCW's Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 2. And you know that there's a match there that you probably want to see.
Oh, he went against Moxley, right?
Josh Barnett versus Moxley.
Yeah.
And last time I announced who was participating in in this one, but they never said what's the card. But they just recently announced 3 new names that are participating. Here they are. Sumai Saki, who was in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, she used to be the Ring of Honor Women's Champion.
Then there's Anthony Carolelli and Timothy Thatcher. So these are wrestlers that are now added in for Bloodsport 2 with Josh Barnett. You know, and the others I know, if you followed, Davey Boy Smith's going to be in it. So is Tom Lawler and a few others. Killer Cross is also in it.
Okay.
But they still haven't put out the whole card. Who is facing who, what, how the matches are going to go. But we are only aware of the Josh Barnett versus Jon Moxley match. We're aware of that one. That's like that one match that's already been set. But the other ones haven't. I mean, you would love to see this one come out, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if you guys are not fans of the GCW, you got to watch it. It's pretty interesting how they have these type of events. Bloodsport is amazing. Like I said, this is based from the movie
Right.
Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme. You can still see the first one on Fight TV. All you got to do is just start an account or use your Facebook account and just purchase it right there. I think it's like $19.99. So if you want to see that, start with that. Start with Bloodsport 1 and then go with 2. And the Bloodsport 2 will be aired on September 14th. And hopefully I get to see it with no interruptions.
Right.
You know. But yeah. So we'll keep on following on this one. Hopefully there's more participants and hopefully they will give out the card, how it's going to be. All right, so let's go with AEW right now on this segment. So, we got more updates on the All Out. Now, you and I have been talking this before off camera. We're talking about the Yoshi style. They're going to have Rio versus Hikaru Shida. What do you think of this match?
For
All Out.
All Out? Oh, for the Yoshi style.
Yeah.
I believe is going to be a build up for one of them. I believe Rio's supposed to be going against Ashikaga.
I don't know
After
for
this,
sure.
or no?
We don't know, but the
Yeah.
thing is this. We have been aware that there's been talk about they're going to introduce for the first ever women's champion.
Yes.
For AEW. But those have been talking, especially people that left comments about could this be a possibility that this match could lead to the same thing that happened with Double or Nothing. Remember, they had the Casino Battle Royale where whoever wins will face whoever wins the match between Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho.
Right.
We're seeing a similar situation here again. They're going to put Rio versus Hikaru Shida, who will be also, could it be a possible they would have a match in the near future to determine the first women champion? Because if it is, I see Rio and Hikaru being one of those women that could potentially become the first champion.
The first women's AEW champion?
Yeah.
I would like to see that, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be Britt Baker or Asha Kong.
Yeah.
I see it going to them first due to the reception of the Yoshi style and the Yoshi girls. I mean, no disrespect to the Yoshi girls. I love their work. I love their style. I follow it, but I'm going off from crowd reaction. That's my prediction.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see how this one will be played out because I know there's talk about how this stipulation they're going.
Yes.
But we'll follow it more. Now, there has been one name in the women's division of AEW that has been not appearing at the first 3 pay-per-views. And it's been confirmed yesterday. I'm talking about Sadie Gibbs.
Right.
Now, Sadie Gibbs got signed because of her videos from her Stardom tour early this year got the attention of Matt Jackson. She's so far the one wrestler we haven't seen in AEW.
Right.
Now, we don't know why she hasn't. Either she's already been booked for other promotions or she's needed to take some time off. Because if you guys don't know, she runs a CrossFit program at her home country in the UK. So we don't know, but to be honest with you, I'm excited that she's participating in the Casino Battle Royal.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm very happy to hear that she's in it, but I can't wait to see her. I mean, she's gonna be amazing.
Did they say what number she drew?
They haven't said yet. It's still unclear if what cards. If we already seen Teal Piper, Evilise, and Jazz already got the cards, but they never mentioned what suit they're in.
Right.
I'm like hoping City got something. Like, I don't know. I can only speculate so much, but we'll see how this one plays out. Now, they just got another person for the Casino Battle Royal. They announced yesterday as well. I never heard of this person. I don't know if you heard of Big Swole. Me neither. So
goes under a different name.
I haven't got the chance to look it up, but hopefully I get more info on her. Now, if you guys have been watching Being the Elite, they just announced 2 more dates for their weekly show. One will take place on October 3rd at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, home of Britt Baker, which is going to be exciting for her because AEW is going to her home turf.
Right.
And the second one is on October 30th at Charleston, West Virginia.
Ooh.
Yeah. So basically, I'm going to assume that they will tease many other upcoming shows on Being the Elite.
Right.
Maybe they like doing that, to tease the fans.
Oh yeah, keep us all on our toes.
Oh yeah. Now the last thing I want to talk to you about, and I think you heard of this, is Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if you heard this. There have been some fans that are concerned of their choice of signing him. Now he's very entertaining. He has this. They call him the sloth because he takes his sweet time. And if you guys haven't seen him in Double or Nothing, that explains everything. I mean, the first time I saw him, I didn't even know who this guy was until I started going on YouTube and looking at his videos.
Yeah, look him up.
Like, one match I did like is when he was facing Taka Michinoku in the first Bloodsport event at GCW. But here's the thing. From what I understood here, that from Dave Meltzer, they're going to book him in a manner that will not bother much of the fans, but will be entertaining.
Right.
And of course, the reason they signed him was his name was brought up during by an ad sales during a TNT meeting. So basically, I think TNT were impressed with the reaction they have with Orange Cassidy at Double or Nothing. Probably that's the reason they signed him.
Right.
I mean, thing is this: if you're gonna if they want to invest on someone in particular, he's probably that one guy that will keep everyone entertained. But I can't wait to see what they're gonna do because I know he's entertaining the way. If you haven't seen his matches, go on YouTube. You'll be surprised what he does. If you haven't, then I might come over there and slap you in the head. So watch Orange Cassidy. So that's it what we got for AEW, but we will continue more. We're going to talk about the MLW brand.
Yes.
If you guys haven't seen the latest Fusion episode, let's give you guys what the biggest surprise that happened. If y'all don't know, Marshall Von Erich got missed in the eyeballs by Contra's newest member, Kiru Kwan from Singapore. But he managed to send a message to the fans saying that he's not 100%, but his vision is still not, how to say, compatible or something.
Right.
I mean, he can see, but he can't see completely 100%. But he did give a little surprise for the fans.
Which is?
He's not coming alone.
Oh, he's in a squad?
They're bringing the general along for the ride to be at their corner. If you guys don't know who I'm referring to, we're talking about his father, the legendary Kevin Von Erich.
Ooh.
So this is a surprise to see Kevin Von Erich. If you guys haven't followed the Von Erich family history, you guys know there's been some dark moments with these guys. But Kevin Von Erich, he is the strongest of the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
But it will be interesting for him to be on the corner of his sons and Tom Lawler and their mystery partner. But here's
more mystery partners.
Yeah, they don't. Hopefully it's someone, or unless they got another Von Erich in mind. So, but the last match that happened on the Fusion episode was a hardcore match between L.A. Park and Jimmy Havoc.
Oh.
This was a match that was more of a request by Conan to Selena De La Renta. If you guys don't follow the story, Selena De La Renta is out there running her mouth saying that she is the reason she's bringing Hispanic wrestlers to America. Now,
oh, she's taking credit for all of that.
yeah, but there is only one other person that had more credit than her, and that is Conan.
Conan, yeah.
So basically, Selena sees him. He's an old timer. His time is done. But Conan still has enough juice in his life
Oh, yeah.
to bring in best talent from Mexico, because he had spent much of his time in Mexico. You know, being with CMML, AAA. But this match was in particular because Conan threatened to expose what she has on her phone. Yeah, so there's that. But here's the best part after that. Once the match was done, Mance Warner showed up with the chainsaw.
Ooh.
And started to chase down Jimmy Havoc, Selena De La Renta, and L.A. Park. You don't want... This is like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
A little Chainsaw Charlie action?
Well, yeah. It was entertaining to see, you know, because we never seen people bring chainsaws in pay-per-views like this. Unless... Well, except for Terry Funk.
Yeah, a.k.a. Chainsaw Charlie.
Yeah. But... Well, he's the first one in almost 20 years that we've seen a chainsaw.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see what they're going to go with this one.
Oh, yeah.
Now, they're going to have their upcoming pay-per-view event called War Chambers. Like, if you guys don't know what it is, it's kind of like similar to the War Games with WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is a match they have announced already. They're going to have the Tag Team Championship. The Dynasty versus Hart Foundation in a ladder match.
This is going to be the pay-per-view, not their weekly show?
Yeah.
Did we already let the viewers know that you can catch MLW on YouTube with their weekly shows?
Yes. You can still catch them on YouTube, you know, or if you follow them on the BN Sports online. It's either way how you want to do it, but I follow it on YouTube a lot.
Yeah.
Now, there is the one match that we got to be more watchable is Contra Unit, Fatu, Gotch, Samela, and their newest member, Quan, versus the Von Erichs, Tom Lawler, and their mystery partner, along with the General, Kevin Von Erich. Now, I know many fans are trying to figure out who is their mystery partner.
Hikuleo.
I don't think so, but it would be fun. But here's the best part about this pay-per-view. This is going to be in Dallas, Texas. If you guys don't know this, the Von Erich family...
Yeah, that's their hometown.
Well, Kevin Von Erich currently lives in Hawaii.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But Texas is basically their home.
Yeah.
It's always been their home for years, dating back to when the Von Erichs had their own promotion. And Kevin Von Erich, he's a fellow Texan down there. And this is going to be a big moment for these guys, being back at their home state where they're originally from. You know, because I'm assuming that the reason they live in Hawaii, I think Kevin is still dealing with the loss of his brothers.
Ah, that's right.
You know, because, you know, we know the story. If you guys don't know the story, then it's a very tragic story about their lives, you know. But this, I would love to see the reaction from the Dallas fans, because if you're not familiarized with the Von, if you're not a fellow Texas, then you guys are missing everything, or you guys don't know nothing. But us Californians, we know the history. Texas are very proud of these guys. These guys are basically the heroes of Texas. But this is one match we gotta see, and hopefully we can see who's their mystery partner. Now, if you guys have a clue or you speculate who their mystery partner, just leave a comment down below, and we'll see how we can predict this as possible. But we will follow more on MLW and the War Chambers, and then we'll see what's going to happen at this upcoming Fusion episode.
Fusion.
As you all know, Northeast Wrestling had another Jon Moxley match. This time, Cero Miedo. Now, I sent you a link, but you missed it.
Work happens, and then you die.
Yeah, but I managed to see it. It was amazing. Now, if you guys are not familiarized with Penta, he likes to talk profanity in Spanish to his opponents. And it makes it more fun, to watch, seeing
I
him
enjoy it.
when he talks to his... I'm not going to say it. I want to keep it clean for everyone, but I was always wondering, what would Moxley do? I mean, of course, they were going back and forth on that.
Yeah. I mean, you could pretty much put anyone in the ring with Moxley, and Moxley will figure out how to work well with them. I mean, like if you've seen like all of his matches in the G1, he's got a remedy for everyone's little shenanigans.
Yeah, not to mention, the commentators mentioned that Moxley said that Penta was on his bucket list. So, scratch that. I'm like thinking who else is on his bucket list. But we'll just have to wait and see. But here's the thing also I want to give out. If you guys are wondering, how can we watch Northeast Wrestling? There's two ways. But the first one is more of the common one. You can go to High Spots Wrestling Network and subscribe to them. It's only $9.99 a month. So they have their matches there. It's the same kind of similar system with Defy on Demand. But if you guys are interested, you can do that. Or the other option is order the DVD from their website. So that's one of the two options. If you want to watch this particular match. So if you're interested, now you know. But if not, then you have to wait a while till you get a clear eyes view. But they have posted videos from Northeast before, but it doesn't last that long on YouTube. Maybe a day or so. Maybe they just throw it in there so fans can see it.
Real quick.
Yeah, before they're told, remove it. Which sucks for those. But if there's anything else, if Jon Moxley will make another Northeast Wrestling appearance, we'll let all you guys know, because he seems like he likes going to Northeast Wrestling. He already faced Big Cass and Darby Allin.
Oh, that's right.
So we'll see who else he will face in Northeast Wrestling. So stay tuned on that one. The last thing we want to talk about is Stephen Amell. Now, if you guys are not familiarized with him, he is known as the Green Arrow. Those who may or may not know, he's a die-hard wrestling fan. First time he got involved was in WWE, where he teamed up with Neville, who now goes by Pac, versus Cody Rhodes, and I forgot who was his tag team partner. But during that time, there were some things we did learn about Stephen Amell. I think I might have told you about this. They treat their celebrities like they're royalty.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Stephen Amell, I admired what he wanted to do. He was requesting, don't treat me as celebrity, treat me like I'm part of the locker room. I mean, that to me kind of like, wow, this guy's being 100% for real. Like, he didn't want to be treated as a celebrity. And that got the attention of Cody, who those two become good friends. And Cody, on the other hand, showed up on the Arrow show as a villain known as Derek Sampson. And it was a pretty good story with him. Now, he teamed. So if you know, he did one in the match with Neville against Cody and his partner. He had to do the same thing again, but this time he joined the Bullet Club. And he teamed up not only with Cody, he teamed up with the Elite, the OG Elites, Kenny Omega and the Bucks, versus Flip Gordon and SCU.
That is true.
And of course, it was a good match, And especially that Steven got put through a table.
Oh, yeah.
But he actually could hold his own. There's no denying that. And of course, Bullet Club won the match.
And then his Stephen Amell's third match was All In against
Christopher Daniels.
Christopher Daniels.
But here's the thing: he said he's undefeated in tag teams.
Ah.
So he made that clear. He's undefeated in tag teams. But he did lose to CDE in the singles match and All In. But it was a good match.
It was.
You know, we're not going to say it's a bad. Now, the reason we brought Stephen Amell up, this was brought upon by TV Guides when they interviewed Tony Khan and the EVPs of All Elite Wrestling, the Bucks, Omega, and Cody. Now, the question they asked them, they were well aware that Stephen Amell could be unemployed once the Arrow show is done. But they asked him, is there any chance they could bring him to All Elite Wrestling? They say they will love to have him there. They said they're willing to make AEW his home because they do consider him as a wrestler.
Good.
And technicality, he was a member of the Bullet Club. Mm-hmm. And in their own point of view and technicality, he is a member of the Elite. So basically, whatever they say that comes out of their mouths, it's true. So we can say he's not a member of the Elite, but that's not up to us to say. That's up to them because they're good friends with them. Now, this just came up around yesterday. Stephen Amell is working on a brand new project. This one's called Heels.
Yes.
This is going to be based on wrestling. It's a wrestling concept show. And this is something I never would have imagined Stephen Amell coming up with. You know, doing a show about wrestling. You know, I mean, we have Glow, but for him to do something like this, it's amazing. But he did posted out that he would like to have Cody to be involved. Now, we don't know what kind of role he would play in. Now, there's many ways I can think of it, and you would think the same way too, either as an actor, or a producer, or an advisor, or all of the above. You know, it probably would make no difference. If he wants Cody involved, I know Cody would jump the opportunity because you and I have seen Cody.
Yeah.
His display for his love for professional wrestling is in his blood. And he has always been a strong supporter of that for years. If you haven't seen that, Cody, then you guys are missing out. But if you have, then you know you have his respect for that. Because he's willing to fight for professional wrestling no matter what. But they haven't announced yet when this will be aired or when they will start production. I'm assuming they're still working on the pre-production, like trying to find out what location to film or what actors they want to hire, producers and all this and that. You know, I can go on and go on. But they did say it will be on the Stars channel.
Okay.
But hopefully we get the chance to see once there's a trailer comes out or a teaser, however you want to go with it. But what do you think?
I think by the sound of it, once All Out's done and the AEW's weekly show is you know set into motion, we'd probably be looking to see it in 2020, most likely.
Yeah, and not to mention, we probably will see Stephen Amell make an appearance in AEW, and of course, whoever's the cast of the show called Heels will be in it. But I'm excited, you know, because I think this Stephen Amell is becoming like Cody. His love for professional
and
wrestling.
if it's going to be on Stars, it's definitely going to be a really good show because I like Stars. They have a really good network originals on there. This might be another good one that they're showing.
All right. So if you guys like what we talked about, leave a comment down below. We'll respond to you as soon as possible. But we will keep more updates on everything we talked about. If there's anything you guys think we miss, also leave a comment. So on behalf of Deleted WrestleZone, I'm J-Rod.
Nico.
So we must bid you all adieu. So goodbye. And have a nice day. Bang.